usengaphansi kwesifungo Mr. Tyler.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Mtogo Zisitwala, we adjourned when we were still describing the nature of the relationship between Senzo, Ms. Kelly Khumalo, and the deceased.
Busaqhaza-ke noma besakhuluma-ke nge-relationship phakathi kwakhe-ke umufi kanye naye-ke uKelly.
Yebo.
Yes.
I would ask you to tell us, please, what was the nature, the status of the relationship between the two?
Ngizoqala-ke ukuthi usitsheleke ukuthi-ke i-relationship yabo-ke bobabili yayikanjani.
Uzoba nzima kumina lo mbuzo ukuthi nguphendule because
But try, I know.
Yeah,
but try what you can.
It's going to be very difficult for me to answer that question. It's going to be very difficult.
mangithi ngicela ungawuphendule.
If I say I'm making a request not to answer it,
Simply because yebo Senzo wayethandana noKelly but ngangabi khona esikhathini esiningi between yena noKelly.
Because indeed Senzo was in a relationship with Kelly, but most of the time I wouldn't be there between the two of them or when the two of them are together.
Simply because of the fact that I've never hidden the fact that Mandisa is my closest friend.
Because I have never made the secret of hidden it that Mandisa is my best friend.
So with that naye usenza I think why no avoid kakhulu if ezoba noKelly.
With that, Senzo then used to avoid me a lot when he was going to be in Kelly's company.
Because now Kelly wires if friendship yami no Mandisa.
Because Kelly was aware of my friendship with Mandisa.
Ngoba sake saba no bhekana ngayo.
Because we had a confrontation about it.
Okay. Ms. Zandi Khumalo testified that Dumelo Madlala, one of the reasons why he came to visit Senzo is because they were going to do the lobola negotiations. Do you know anything about that?
Ubufakazi bakhe uZandile Khumalo ushilo ukuthi enye yezizathu noma injongo yokuthi uTumelo abe khona la eGoli kwakuwukuthi ke wayezoba umkhongi wayezoxoxela ke amalobola.
There
is no such. There is no such.
Thank you. So in one word, if you will describe the relationship between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Senzo, you'll say it was good.
When you want to about the relationship Senzo no Kelly ukuthi yayinhle.
At the time, around the time of the deceased incident.
Ngalesi sikhathi ke sokushona kwakhe uSenzo yayinhle relationship phakathi kwabo babili.
Engakusho ukuthi babethandana in reference to leyo malobola angiboni into ekhona leyo ngoba uSenzo wayengekaza lobole engacelile kuMandisa ukuthi ufuna ukuthatha umfazi wesibili lokho ke ngangizokwazi so leyo malobolo nje ayikho lonto.
What I can say is that they loved each other, but what I'm not gonna agree with is the issue of the lobola negotiations. That there is no such. There is no way that Senzo would have gone on to negotiate lobola without having asked Mandisa for consent to take a second wife, and I would have known about it. So there is no such.
Okay. Let's move on. As a friend, closest person to the deceased, do you know what was the kind of the relationship, if there was any, between the deceased and Mr. Longwetwala?
Uma kuwukuthi yayikhona babukhona ubudlelano babukhona phakathi kwakhe umufi kanye nayo uLongwetwala ingabe uyabazi yini ukuthi kwakuubudlelano obunjani?
If you know of any.
Uma kuwukuthi uyazi.
As a friend of the deceased.
Nanjengomngani wakhe umufi.
Engingakusho lapho ukuthi kuzoba nzima ukuthi ngazi ngoba uLonge ngangamazi mina ngimazi ngoba nakho sekushona uSenzo or sekunelanga lokushona kaSenzo ukuthi thana no Zandi so i friendship between uSenzo no Longe angiyazi engikwazi nje ukuthi babejole endlini eyodwa.
There it would be difficult because I don't know Longwe, or I didn't know Longwe. I only got to know Longwe on the day of Senzo's demise, and the only thing that I know is that they were dating in the same house.
Okay. Inside the house when Mr. Longwe Twala arrived, did you see what was the reaction of the deceased when he saw Mr. Longwe Twala entering the house?
Ngabelela ngake uma kungena uLongwe ngaba wayibona yini reaction yakhe umufi uma noma ngenkathi abona uLongwe.
Babingelelana uLongwe wangena usenze ngaphandle if ngikhumbula kahle, so wathi mayengena uLongwe vela isehleli ngaphakathi, usenzo wangena ebuya noKelly from ngaphandle. Babingelelana njengoba ngisho babingelelana baqhawulana futhi if I'm not mistaken. Wahlala phansi, so nganganakile kakhulu reaction yakhe, ngikhumbula nje nimbuzo ukuthi kimanga buthi
they greeted each other, and when Senzo came in, or when Longwe came in, Senzo was outside. Then Senzo came in together with Kelly. They greeted each other, and if I'm not mistaken, they shook hands. So I didn't take note of the reaction. I then asked him, witness mentioned it in Sesotho, I then asked, who is the gentleman?
Okay, when the struggle took place inside the house, did you see the actions of Longwe if he was protecting the deceased?
When the
scuffle,
okay.
Sorry, madam,
okay.
When the scuffle took place, especially when the intruder entered inside the house, did you see if Mr. Longwe Twala tried to protect the deceased, or how was Mr. Twala's movement inside the house towards the deceased? Protection?
Ngaphakathi-ke endlini ingabe ungathi uLongwe kwakuwumuntu owayemvikela noma ezama ukuvikela umufi ngalenkathi-ke lesicafula lesi senzeka phakathi endlini?
Hayi cha, uLongwe yona oqala wasukuma waphuma wabaleka.
Longwe was the first one to stand up and to run out, so he never defended or protected anyone.
Okay, so he didn't take care of anyone who was inside the house. He just ran out and left all of you.
Wanishiya nonke ngaphakathi, akazange anake noyedwa ongaphakathi, wanishiya nonke.
Yebo kuyiqiniso lo.
Yes, that's true.
In hospital, you testified that there was a fight from Mandisa's friends with Miss Kelly Khumalo. Remember that?
Ushilo-ke nokuthi esibhedlela kwakune fight yayikhona-ke phakathi kwabangani bakaMandisa kanye naye uKelly.
Yebo.
Yes.
Do you know what was the fight about?
Uyazi ukuthi i-fight lena yayingane.
I think ngophela kwabangani baMandisa, knowing ukuthi ngoba sekwenzeke lento eyensekile kusenzo, mhlambe nabo kwabo ukuhluthwa kwenhliziyo ngoba vele ngiyacabanga ukuthi babengayingeni babengamthandi uKelly.
Maybe because it is Mandisa's friends and this had happened to Senzo, maybe it's just that it was that emotions ran high and they didn't like Kelly.
And mhlawumbe abanye bekuvuka amanye ama-minutes because mawukhumbula kahle ukuthi noKelly noZandi bake bamhlasela uMandisa.
Okay, maybe there were some other agendas that then came to the fore, because if you remember well, Kelly and Zandile once attacked Mandisa.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mthokozisi. Let's go back now into the house. Okay. It is your evidence that Mr. Longwe Twala. Okay, before I go there, my lord, I'm sorry. Can I just rephrase? When the first intruder came in, did he point you with the firearm, or did he just demand the cell phone? What was the action movement of the intruder?
Uma ngabe lo woqala-ke kulabo ababili abangena endlini esengena-ke endlini ngaba wanikhomba yini ngesibhamu noma wafuna nje kuphela ama-cellphone nemali?
Hayi, wafuna ama-cellphone nemali kodwa isibhamu sasibona kodwa-ke ekhaya isikhombe kuyena.
He just demanded cell phones and money, but he didn't point the firearm at anyone, but we saw the firearm, but it wasn't pointed at anyone.
Okay. And there is no cell phone that was robbed or taken at that time when he demanded money and cell phone.
Ngaleso sikhathi leso ke afuna ama cell phones kanye nemali, ayikho i cell phone eyathathwa ngaleso sikhathi leso.
At that point.
Yes.
No.
Okay. At any stage, did you see any cell phone? If there is any cell phone that was taken in your presence, robbed in your presence?
Ikhona ya cellphone ke uma sekuqhubekeka ke sekuhamba isikhathi ikhona cellphone eyathathwa noma wayibona wena ithathwa.
Mina ngisakhona endlini cha yikho.
No, when I was still in the house, no, there isn't any.
Okay. And when you were inside in the house when the first shot was fired, and when the second shot was fired, you were not there?
Ubungaphakathi ke endlini uma siqhuma kokuqala isibhamu uma sesiqhuma kokwesibili ubungasekho ngaphakathi endlini.
Yebo kuqinisa la.
Yes, that's true.
And you cannot be able to tell this court who fired the shot that killed the deceased.
Futhi awungeke ke ukwazi ke noma kube kusona ke isimo sokuthi uyichazeleke lenkantolo ukuthi ubani owaqhumisa isibhamu leso ke esashaya ke noma sabulala umufi.
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa ukuthi thini. Yeah.
Yes, I hear what you say.
No, just answer the question. You cannot. You did not see.
Yeah.
You were outside.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, sokuqala saqhuma ngisendlini. So naso sokuqala ngazi noma isona yini, but angazi lapho nami angengize ngisho ukuthi lesokuqala lesiphi. Yes.
The first shot went off. I was in the house, but yes, I cannot say whether that was the shot or which one. So yes, I don't know.
And specifically with the second one, when you were outside, you did not see who fired shot, whether it was Kelly Khumalo who fired shot. You did not see that.
Ikakhulukazi ke lesi esesibili ukhuluma ngasesibili ukuthi ubani owadubula noma ukuthi uKelly owadubula awukwazi lokho wawungaphandle endlini.
Ngingasho ukuthi nobe kuthiwa ubani owayesendlini angibonanga, not specifically to Kelly. Kulaba ababesendlini.
I would say that whoever it was that was inside the house, not specifically Kelly, but from those that were in the house, I don't know, I didn't see.
Ngoba kakusakhona umaka Kelly, khona uZandi, khona suspect number 1, ukhona noFumelo.
Kelly's mother was there. Zandi was there. Kelly was there. Suspect number 1, Khumalo was also there.
But my question,
but the firearm, sorry?
Mr. Mthokozisi, let's learn to answer the question. I am asking. You did not see who fired the shot.
Awubonanga ubani wadubula.
Usubuza kahle ukuthi umention uKelly. So ube bias of mention uKelly.
Now you're asking correctly because we're biased in specifically mentioning Kelly.
Yeah,
and leaving the others.
So the answer you did not see?
Yes.
But yes, I didn't. Yebo angibonanga.
Okay. You had said Mr. Longe Twala had ran out of the house and you also followed him. Am I correct?
Shilo ukuthi uLongwe waphumela ngaphandle wasumlandela ke nawe.
So Longe Twala is the first one who ran out of the house, okay?
Not that I followed him, but I ended up going out of the house.
Yes, that's why I asked the highest level of education, because I wanted to see the level of comprehension of this evidence. Longe Twala ran out first, you eventually followed to run out of the house, is that correct?
uLongwe ke umuntu oqala owaphuma washe nawe uyalandela ke uyaphumela ngaphandle.
Yebo ngagcina ngiphumile nami.
Yes, I ended up going out.
When you ran out of the house, did you see Longe Twala outside the house within the premises?
Sorry. Uma usubalekela ngaphandle ke egcekeni noma ngaphandle ke estradini wambona yini uLongwe Twala?
Cha, ngimbonanga.
No, I didn't see him.
Okay. And when you ran out, you said you ran out of Khumalo's premises into the street. Is that your evidence?
Waphuma ke uma usubaleka waphuma ke egcekeni la Khumalo wabalekela estradini.
Yebo.
Yes,
it's true.
That's true.
The witness, Ms. Nthabiseng Mukete, testified that he saw two people running on the streets.
Kobakhe ke ubufakazi uNthabiseng yena uthi ke wabona abantu ababili bebaleka estradini.
Was it possibly
Yes.
you and the second intruder?
Sorry.
Was it possibly you and the second intruder?
Engabe mhlambe kwakuwena kanye nalo wesibili. Sorry.
I think that question is with the greatest of respect, I think it might be misleading because she testified that the persons ran in the direction of the park, and that's not what this witness did.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, my lord. The evidence of Ms. Nthabiseng, my lord, is that the two people ran towards the left-hand side of Ngqashe's homestead.
It's actually three.
Sorry, my lord?
It's actually three.
Yes,
I was
yes.
following the evidence.
Yes, my lord, but right now I was referring the witness to the two. Yes. According to my understanding of Ms. Ntabseng's evidence, my lord, is that they ran towards the left-hand side when they moved out of Mr. Khumalo's homestead,
Yes.
which is the direction that was testified by Ms. Ntabseng, my lord.
Towards the park.
Towards the park, yes. But for the witness, it was to the left-hand side,
Fine.
outside of Khumalo's homestead, because he won't know whether he was proceeding to the park or what.
Okay, fine. You can
Yes.
pose that question.
Thank you, my lord.
What's the question?
The witness, Ms. Ntabseng, testified that he saw two people running towards the left-hand side on the street in the vicinity where she was sitting in the car opposite Ngashe's homestead. She saw two people running down the street.
Ngoba ke ufakazi Nthabiseng wabona ke abantu ababili bebaleka ke emgaqweni la awe hlezi khona ke phakathi emotweni futhi bebalekela ke ngakuhlangothi la ngaku left.
Do you understand?
I understand. I know I'm not supposed to ask questions. Uthe uNthabiseng uhlala opposite nakanqashi. Is that what you're saying?
Did you say that he stays opposite the Ngatches? I just want to.
The evidence of Ms. Ntabseng is that she was at the car
Yes.
standing in the vicinity of Khumalo's neighbor, precisely opposite Ngashe's homestead.
La eyayimi khona ke le moto le athi wayehlezi kuyona uNthabiseng yayimi opposite kwaNgatshe. La kuhlala khona ke komakhumalo but imi opposite kwaNgatshe.
Angeke ngazi ke noma wayibona mina ngangagijimi naye kanje angimshiya mina ngigijima ngedwa yena engilandela ngemuva futhi mina ngajomba la igate ngelincane ngaphandle ukuthi imoto yayibheke angazi ukuthi imoto yayibheke ngakuphi. That's another would be another question engawubuza ukuthi yayibheke ngakuphi imoto plus mina ngibaleka ngayo ngasepark ngaphuma la egatini ngangena egatini duze kwegate lala kaNqashi.
I don't know whether she was seeing me, and the other thing is that I was not running with the person. I was ahead and the person was following me, and I did not run towards the park. I ran and I jumped the small gate at the Ngatches. The other thing or the other question that one needs to ask is to whether which direction was the car facing.
And also, Mr. Mthokozisi, Mr. Longwetwala, who ran out of the house first, you don't know whether he ran out to the street or what happened to him.
Futhi ke ngathi ephuma ke endlini esebaleka ke uLongwe awazi nokuthi wabaleka wangena esitadini noma wabaleka waya kwenzekani ngayo.
Yebo qinisile.
Yes, that's true.
But according to your evidence, the three people who ran out of the house, it was Mr. Longwetwala, yourself, and the so-called second intruder.
Kodwa ke ngobufakazi nje bakho kuphela ke abantu abawu3 abaphuma ke begijima ke noma bebaleka endlini kwakuLongwetwala kwakuwena nalo othi owesibili.
Yebo.
Yes,
True.
Okay. When you ran out now out of Khumalo's homestead, did you see if Longwetwala was there on the road?
Ngathi usuphuma ke manje la kwaKhumalo ke ubaleka ke ngabe wabona yini ukuthi uLongwe wayikhona lapha emgaqweni?
Hayi angimbonanga.
No, I didn't see him.
Okay. Let's go to his statement that he made. A7. Can I ask that I be assisted, my lord, with the statement of the witness A57? I just want to refer this witness to one paragraph in that statement A57. I've numbered the statement A57. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, my lord, I have numbered mine, but that one is not numbered. You will skip. Yes. To paragraph 8, which reads as follows, my lord. I ran out of the gate, turned left, looking for the boys. Can you see that one?
It's not, go up, it's not here. Oh, sorry. 8.
Do you see that paragraph? Maybe it's not numbered, but it starts with the word I ran out. Okay. Can I just read the whole paragraph into the record? Then I will ask you a question regarding the content of that paragraph. My lord, it's paragraph 8. I read, my lord, into the record, open quote. I ran out of the gate, turned left, looking for the boys that used to hang up at the corner. And it is your evidence that you did not see Mr. Longwetwala inside Khumalo's premises and outside the gate.
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi awuzange umbone ngaphakathi egcekeni nangaphandle kumphuma ngithi uLongwe.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. But there was nobody. I then heard a gunshot, 2 loud ones. The third one was not loud. I cannot say it was a gunshot or not. I had my phone with me, but battery was low. After gunshot, I decided to run back to the house. I didn't get back to the house immediately. I was standing on the street for plus or minus 30 seconds. I was confused, not sure whether I must go back or not. I must run. Thereafter, I decided to go back to the house.
Ngabaleka ke ngaphuma ngegate ngathena ku left ngibheka ke abafana ababejwayele noma babevamise ukuthi bahlale ke lapho ekhoneni kodwa kwakungenamuntu ngase ngizwa ke uqhuma kwesibhamu amahlandla amabili elesithathu ke ihlandla lalengazange lisho ke bange umsindo ke angeke ngisho ke noma kwaku yisibhamu noma cha ngangine phone yami mina kodwa ke ibhetri yayo yayi low emuva ke ukuthi isibhamu saqhuma ngathatha isinqumo ke sokuthi ngibalekeke ngibuyele endlini angizange ngibuyele ngaleso sikhathi noma ngaleso sikhathi ngema ke ama seconds awu30 ngangididekile ngingazi ke noma ngenaso isiqiniseko sokuthi ngibuyele noma ngibaleke emuva kwalokho ngathatha isinqumo ke sokuthi ngibuyele endlini.
Close quote, my lord. Did you understand what I've read to you?
Yeah, boss. Yes.
Okay. Did you see him, Mr. Longwetwala, standing on the street?
Wambone Mr.
Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi ngikhumbula ngimbona.
As I've already said that I don't remember seeing him.
And Longwe says, I decided to go back to the house.
Yena ke la uthi wanquma ke ukuthi abuyele endlini.
It is your evidence that you can't recall if he came back or not.
Ubufakazi bakho ke ukuthi awukhumbuli ukuthi wabuyela noma cha.
Yebo, kuyibona bami.
That is my evidence.
Was Longwe present when you carried the deceased to the car?
Kanti seniqubula ke umufi niyomfaka emotweni uLongwe wayekhona.
Hayi ngikhumbula isizwe Longwe thina siqubula umuntu.
No, I don't remember Longwe assisting us in picking up the deceased.
Okay. Did you see Longwe says he drove with Khumalo to the hospital?
uLongwe uthi ke wahamba noma Khumalo ukuya esibhedlela.
Did you see that?
Wakubona lokho?
Ngake ngize ngikubone ngoba phela ngisengihambile mina.
I would not have seen it because I had already left.
Okay. Let's now move on to back into the house. After the first suspect, first intruder, okay, after long, when Twala had ran out of the house, is there anyone who moved away from the lounge or from the area, whether it's a lounge or whether it's a passage, but where the incident was taking place? Is there any person who moved away from that area? Except Mr. Longwe Twala.
Emuva kokuthi uLongwe sephumileke endlini ngabe ukhona yini kulabo abasala ke ngasemuva ke owasuka ke kuleyo ndawo leyo noma kuse lounge noma kuse passage kodwa owasuka khona lapho
mawuthi wasuka as in kulabantu ababesendlini?
Yes.
Referring to the people that were in the house.
Yes.
Umuntu engamkhumbula wayemile ukheli engamkhumbula ukuthi yena wabaleka ngiyacabanga ukuthi wabaleka wangena kulesicapha but kulabo ababese dining ngoba ukheli wayemile not far from a passage ukuthi nje just next to it uyena lapho umuntu engasi ukuthi owabaleka lapho but thina la ngaphakathi akekho wasuka.
The only person that I remember who was standing at the time was Kelly in the passage next to where the heater was, and she just moved and ran into the bedroom that was close there. But amongst us who were seated there, no one moved.
Okay, and that happened before the shot was fired?
Kwenzeka lokho ngaphambilini.
First shot was fired?
Ngaphambilini kokuthi isibhamu siqhuma kokuqala.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. Kelly has ran away into the bedroom, whichever bedroom, and then all of you remained there.
Babaleka yena kwangena ekamereni nasala nina lapho.
Hayi sasala kwaba khona phela leso scuffle lesenzakalayo.
Yes, but
not
you
that
remained.
There was that scuffle that happened.
Sitting room, yeah.
Okay. It was in the sitting room, yes.
Up until the first gunshot was fired.
Kwaze kwayisikhathi lapho nasiqhuma kokuqala khona isibhamu. No.
Yes.
Kwaba khona iscuffle esaya ekitchen. Isibhamu sokuqala saqhuma ekitchen.
Yes.
There was a scuffle that led to the kitchen.
I would say dining.
The
Yes.
first shot went off in the kitchen, not in the dining room.
You were all there,
Nani lapho nonke
except for Kelly,
ngaphandle
who had
koKelly
ran out into the bedroom.
owabalekele ekamereni.
Ngingasho ukuthi except for uLongwe.
I would say that except for
Because
Longwe.
uKelly was still in the house waphuma uvese kamereni noma ngasamkhumbuli yena kahle but waye khona naye lapho.
Because at some point Kelly came out of the bedroom. Although I can't remember specifically when exactly, but she was also there.
Umuntu
Okay,
owayengekho
let's correct the record now. Just tell the court what you saw. If you did not see, let us not speculate. You said Miss Kelly Khumalo ran into the bedroom, and the scuffle took place in the kitchen when Kelly was in the bedroom. Is that your evidence?
Ngifuna ke manje silungiseke irecord ngoba ke uKelly ke wabaleka kwangena ekamereni. Kwase kwenzeka ke iscuffle ke le scuffle senzeka khona lapha yana ke ekitchen akekho uKelly usekamereni.
ngakho ngisho ukuthi ngesikhathi iscaffle siqala uKelly wayesekhishi uKelly wayesekamereni kodwa isiqhubekeni wescaffle uKelly waphuma ekamereni kwena ngichazayo nje lokho.
What I'm explaining or what I'm saying is that when the scuffle started, Kelly was in the bedroom, but as the scuffle proceeded or went on, at some point Kelly came out of the bedroom.
Okay. When Kelly ran into the bedroom, did he run into the bedroom? Did he take her children with her when he ran into the bedroom?
Uma esebalekela khona ke ekamereni wayithatha ingane zakhe wabalekela nazo kulelo kamera lelo.
I don't think wayezokwazi ukuthatha ingane zakhe yokuqala eyodwa isekamereni ilele eyesibili yayila phambi kwethu umuntu mayengena ungena la eduze kwakhe so I don't think sasikhona isikhathi sokuthi agijima uthatha ingane yakhe isekamereni.
I don't think she would have been able to do that, or there would have been time for her to do that. The other child was in the bedroom sleeping. The other child was right here where this was happening.
So what's the answer? The answer is that she did not take her child and ran with her child into the bedroom. Am I correct?
So ke lilonke ke impendulo lapho ithi akazange abaleke nengane ekamereni.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. Can you proceed, my lord?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Now, the shot is being fired wherever you were in the house. After the shot, was fired, is there anyone who ran out of the house after that? After the first shot was fired.
Emuva kokuthi ke sesiqhumileke isibhamu kokuqala ke ukhona yini ke owabaleka kwaphuma endlini emuva kokuthi sesiqhumile kokuqala?
Yebo khona.
Yes, there is.
Who?
Or there was. Ubani?
I mean.
It's me.
Okay. Is there anyone other than you who ran away from the place, the scene wherein, I think you said the scaffold was at the kitchen by that time, whether it was at the kitchen or at the passage, other than you, before leaving the room, did you see anyone running away from that spot?
So which one of the two spots? The kitchen or the passage?
It may be the kitchen, it may be the spot, according to his evidence. But when the shot was fired, other than the witness who ran out, did you see if there is anyone also who ran away of that spot?
Ngaphandle kwakho ke nanjengokushilo ukuthi wena ke waphuma ngaphandle kwakho kukhona omunye owambona nje esuka lapho kuleyo ndawo leyo enye leses noma kwakuse kitchen noma kwakuse passage.
Angazi noma ngizothi running away noma following me kodwa number 2 lo muntu.
I don't know whether to say running away or following me, but it was number 2, the tall one.
Uyena kuwangilandela loyo waphuma engamboni ephuma nami.
He followed me, he's the one that I saw going out with me.
But the rest, you left them inside the house. Is that your evidence?
Yeah, but that's true.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. And then Miss Zandi Khumalo, when he testified, my lord, we have a transcript, my lord. I'm not sure whether the court does have the copies.
No, you can
it's
read
fine.
from it.
I'll just read. Thank you, my lord. I'll just read. On the appearances for the 18th of July 2023, Ms. Khumalo testified. And on page 52, my lord, of the transcript, Ms. Khumalo, my lord, on line number 19, he testified and said, when I heard that hitting the floor, it so happened that Tumelo also had it, so that we had the same thing. I ran into the bathroom and he ran into the bedroom. Close quote, my lord.
Lana ke akufundayo ke iloko ubufakazi bakhe ke uzandi Khumalo bange-18 July ngobona ke lo nyaka ku page 52 ku line 19 la athi khona ke wathi umebuzwa ke lokho kushaya phansi ke kwathi ke kanti noTumelo ukuzwile ukuthi bezwe into eyodwa noma bezwa into eyodwa wase yena ke izandla bebaleke ngene e-bathroom yena kuTumelo wabaleka ngena kwelinye ikamera.
Did you see them running into, specifically I'm referring to Miss Zandile Khumalo who had testified. Did you see her running into the bathroom?
Ngabe wambona yini uZandile balekele e-bathroom?
After the first shot was fired.
Emuva ukuthi saphuma ukuqala isibhamu.
Ngicanga ngizangize ngimbone wabi nami ngabaleka ngaphuma so
I didn't see her because I also ran out.
angangakubona wangaphambi kwami mehlami.
I could only see that was in front of me, in front of my eyes.
And also, it is the evidence of Ms. Zandi Khumalo that 3 shots were fired inside the house. And you testified that only 2 that were fired. Which one is correct?
Kubufakazi bokazandileke ukuthi yena ke wasizwa isibhamu qhuma kade amahlandla amathathu. Wena ke kuba kubufakazi uthi saqhuma kabili isibhamu yipi ke ekuyona.
Mina engakuzwe ngizwile lokho kuziwa uZandi nayo kuziwa uZandi.
I heard what was heard by Uzandi, that is what she heard.
Okay, I understand why you could hear differently and why you could observe differently. Let's go back to the time when you went to the tavern and bought alcohol. You remember that time? Before the incident? It is your evidence that after buying this alcohol, can I ask that the pictures for all the pictures of the alcohol be referred to this witness? I think it's 114 up to 121 or 120 if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Sibanda. Before this incident, you were enjoying yourself, eating and drinking alcohol
Yes.
and also watching soccer, watching match on the television.
Yebo.
Yes.
And it is your evidence that you only consumed, you said 2.5 or 3? Just for
2.5. Like 3.
Not go to 3, 2.5.
I just want to show you all these pictures. The reason why I'm showing you these pictures, it's because this is the only evidence that was found by the police when they arrived at the scene.
Ngikhombisa lokhu ngoba uphela kobufakazi ke lo obathola amaphoyisa nkathi befika lapha kwindawo yesigameko.
Okay. You see?
Yes, ngiyabona.
Yes, I see.
You said you consumed what?
Hunter's Gold.
Hunter's Gold. Forgive me if maybe I don't see it there. Do you see it there?
Uyayibona wena lapha?
Ayikho.
It's not there.
Okay. And at the time when you left the house, you left all the cans that you had consumed inside the house. Is that correct?
Niphuma ke noma nihamba ke endlini. Onke amakani enaniphuza kona ke naniwashiye khona endlini.
Yebo.
Yes.
At the time when you were consuming alcohol inside the house, could you see if there was anyone who will pick up the empty cans, go and throw them outside?
Ngathi nanihlezi niphuza ke lapho ngabe khona yini umuntu owambona owayeqoqa lawo makani lawo naniphuza ngawo ahambe ke ayowalahlela ngaphandle noma ayolahlela emqomeni?
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi angeke ngisho ukuthi khona ngambona kodwa sasingeke sizosihlala igcwele amakani kukhona umuntu omdala.
I think so, but I don't think that there's someone that I saw, but I also think that there's no way we would have just left the cans there unattended with an elderly person in our midst.
Okay, but you did not see anyone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. When you left to the hospital, you left the house with all the cans that you have been consuming. It is your evidence that all of you, or some of you, you'll correct me, you were consuming alcohol. So it means the cans would have more than what is depicted in picture number 114 of Exhibit D. Yes. If you look at those pictures as they go down, this is the only evidence. There is no Hunter's Gold.
ukuthi uma ukuthi ke ngenze iphutha kuzongilungisaphi kunaniphuza nonke noma babe khona babengaphuzi ke kodwa ke ukuthi asiwona ilana ngibona ilona ubufakazi obukhona ke ayikho iHunters Gold kulamakani esiwabonayo la
kulokho okubhekela yebo babheka emgqomeni mhlawumbe kuba umention umgqomo wena babheka mhlawumbe wena emgqomeni efridge ngoba isefridge phakathi akufanele balivule nefridge phela
from what we see here, yes, but did they go and look at the dustbin? You mentioned the dustbin. Was the fridge open to also see whether because the alcohol was there in the fridge?
But according to the police, this is the only thing they found at the scene after you had left when they attended the crimes.
Amaphoyisa wona ke athi ikona phela ke lokho awakuthola ke khona ke indawo yesigameko emuva kokuthi nihambile.
All right, ngiyakuzwa.
All right, I hear you.
And it does not show the cans that you consumed.
La wena wawaphuza ke asiwaboni.
Alikhe lam.
Mine is not yet.
And it does not
the
show
red one.
And it does not show the cans consumed by other people.
Namanye ayephuzwa abanye abantu futhi asiwaboni.
Nawa nje.
Here they are. Two of them.
Other than the two.
Oh. Yeah, ngiyacabanga ngoba bawuthiwa bephuza ilento encane bawuthiwa bephuza again.
Yes, I think so because two were drinking the smaller can, the other two were drinking two were drinking Heineken.
Okay, so you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay, correct. Now, the first suspect comes in the house after you had taken alcohol. Correct?
Manje ke sengena woqala ke umsolo emuva kokuthi niphuze utshwala.
Wasiphuza yebo?
Yes, we were drinking.
And when you were asked in this court to describe, okay, sorry my lord, can I just rephrase? It is your evidence that the alleged first intruder was wearing a hat and had a dreads. Correct me if I'm not correct?
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi lo woqala ke lo othi owoqala owangena wayigqoka isigqoko futhi enama dreads.
Yebo?
Yes.
But when you testified here in court, you couldn't describe the type of the hat that was worn by the alleged first intruder. Am I correct?
uma usunikeza ngobufakazi la enkantolo ke. Okay.
There is no the witness still demonstrated.
Yeah, that's not the evidence. You see, you say I'm giving evidence. You are not looking at the witness. Okay. The witness actually demonstrated the type of head he saw on the head of the alleged first suspect who was having dreaded locks. Just demonstrate if you did. If you didn't demonstrate yesterday, you mustn't do it. Just demonstrate if you did. No, but show. I
said
that's what he did, and then I said anybody who knows what a brim is in Zulu, because me as a so-called Englishman I know the brim of a hat. And then I said, like for instance, the Minister of Police, Mr. Begi Kede, who wears such hats. And I was saying that after he had demonstrated. Okay.
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Mtogozis, is it correct that you couldn't tell this court what type of the hat you saw, but you only demonstrated and you were assisted to give the definition of the hat? You said it was round.
Akuyiqiniso yini ukuthi isigqoko leso kwakwazanga ukuthi usichazeke utshengisa nje kuphela ke waze walekelelwa ke wasizwa ke ukuchaza leso sigqoko leso?
Isigqoko ngisichazile ukuthi isigqoko sikanjani. I think wena ubungasunderstand up until ijudge lisho leligama elishilo lasho ngoba ngizangakuchazela ukuthi siqoka abantu abadala. So hayi ukuthi ngiassistile or whatever mhlawumbe ngasho ukuthi ngegama lishilo ngoba nami bengalazi lelo gama. But ukuchazela ngichazelile. Now uyazi ukuthi ngichazelile.
And mention the head. It is only that, not that I didn't know the head, but you are the one who didn't understand it. It is just that the judge then mentioned the word, the brim word that the judge mentioned.
The reason why I'm going back to this, Mtogo, yes. I want you to clarify for the record whether you were able to tell this court what type of the hat was worn by the first suspect, because I need clarity on that.
Ngifuna ke uqhaqela nje imbangela ukuthi ngibuyele kulokho ngikwazi ngifuna lokho kuchazeke kuzwakaleke kuzokwazi nakimi ukuthi kuqhaqe ngikuzweke.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ngichazelile ukuthi isigqoko ngichazelile ukuthi isigqoko esikanjani igama ebengalazi laso kodwa ngichazelile ukuze uzoba neunderstanding yokuthi isigqoko eshinjani. So angazi ke ukuthi angizange ngize ngichaze uqonda ukuthini ngoba ngichazelile ngaze nga describe isigqoko ukuthi isigqoko esikanjani.
I didn't mention the hat. It is just that the name that I couldn't get to and I described it, but it's just a name that I couldn't get to. So I don't know how you want me to describe it.
Can I also, is it also correct that you when you gave the description of the hat worn by the first suspect, you said it was round, according to your demonstration?
Ngalendlela ubuchaza ngayo ke ubuchaza nje ngesigqoko esi-round.
Indlela esichaze ngayo la ukuthi sikanjani.
That's how I mentioned
round.
Yeah,
it's round.
Yes, sikanje.
And Khumalo on the date at the time of the incident was also wearing a hat. Am I correct?
No, Khumalo ngale langa lesigameko wayifaka isigqoko.
Or you can't recall it?
Khona umehluko phakathi a hat isigqoko ngiyabona ukuthi ngiyadideka ke manje nami.
I'm also getting confused now.
Yini hat yini isigqoko ngoba
no, you can correct me. That's why I want to get a clear answer from you, whether it was a cap, whether it was a hat. My lord, can I just refer the witness to photo number 5 and 6?
Yes.
Of the photo album of Sergeant Mosia. Exhibit C, my lord.
Exhibit C, okay.
I can see we are having difficulties in describing the head. Let's go to those pictures. Because by round, if you say it was round, all the heads are round. There's no head that is four corner. This is the head also, you see?
Yes.
Am I correct if I say it is also round?
No, so say round.
Obviously so around songena kanjani
Yeah.
ikhanda.
Obviously it would be down. How would it then put into the head?
You mean there are no four-cornered men on the head?
So I'm trying to define, to understand the definition that you gave when you say it was round.
Can I point it out to you?
Yes.
Because it's right here, so that you'll understand much more clearly. Sorry. This is what I'm referring to. This is this which is round.
Okay.
Joba describing it.
Yes, I described.
This is what I'm referring to. Not referring to this or whatever, referring to this part. This is a round part.
Okay.
And that is the brim. I don't know what it is in Zulu or Shangaan, but in English, it's the brim of a hat.
Of a head.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. So the one you saw was like this.
This was
Yes.
one. Yes.
Okay. Was it this one?
Sorry.
It might be this one.
Kungenzeka ukuthi lesi,
Ukuthi sibheke phansi.
just that it's facing down.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, my lord, may the just bear with me. I'm just going through my questions. And further to that, you said also the first intruder was in possession of the firearm, but you can't define it.
Ushilo ke lo uqala ukuthi wayenesibhamu kodwa ukuthi nje awukwazi ukuchaza leso sibhamu leso.
Yebo, that's true.
Yes, that's true.
And you also can't tell this court what is it that you saw that made you to say it was a firearm.
Nokuthi ke awukwazi ukuchaza ukuthi yini le owayibona eyenza ukuthi usho ukuthi yisibhamu.
Ngiyakuzwa.
I hear you.
And the first intruder, is it your evidence that he had dreadlocks and also wearing a hat?
Ubufakazi bakho ukuthi lo boqala wayenama dreadlocks efake isigqoko.
Yebo.
Yes.
Fakazi bami.
That's my evidence.
So his head was covered.
Ukusho ukuthi ikhanda lakhe lamboziweke.
Ikhanda lanibhuziwe.
Yeah, it means
Kodwa
because he
wabona
had
ama-dreads.
dreads. Yes.
Yes, the head was covered, but you could see, or you were able to see the dreadlocks.
Okay, can you just describe how was the dreadlocks that you saw?
Aye kanjani ama dreadlocks?
Ama-dreads ayevela la. Njengoba egqoka isigqoko, ngiyacanga uma ufaka isigqoko, ama-dreadlocks azovela la.
They were
Ayavela
appearing
la.
here.
In your case, now
towards the
wadedela
ears.
lapho usufaka isigqoko nje
They were
kuze.
coming on side by side.
Yes, side by side.
Yes.
Ufaka isigqoko mina ngimbona la ngaphambili kwami ngakithi, so obvious azophetruda la.
Because I saw the person in front of me, so obviously they would protrude from the sides.
And also he was wearing a hat.
Efake isigqoko.
Yes.
Yes.
Did he have any gold?
COVID.
Hayi ngikhumbula.
No, I don't remember.
Okay. And his dreadlocks were not tied at the back.
Ayengaboshiwe ama dreadlocks akhe.
They were loose.
emuva.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ayelusi ngoba kuba iboshiwe kwangeke ngiwabone phela lapho nesigqoko angekaza sifake.
I think they were loose because if they were tied, then I would not have been able to see them, or he would not even have put on a hat.
Could you see or did not see?
Wakubona noma awuzange ukubona?
Ukuthini?
Whether
What?
they were loose or they were tied.
Ukuthi ayeboshiwe
The
noma
dreadlocks.
ayeloose.
Njengoba ngichaza ukuthi la obvious la ababoshiwe la ivele khona la kuyena. So esigqokeni ngeke ngize ngibone ngoba ufaka isigqoko nje.
Here, where they were protruding, they were loose. Then obviously where the hat was, then I was in no position to see whether they were tied or not.
In other words, you could not see his face properly because there were dreadlocks on his head and he also had a hat.
Ukusho ukuthi ubuso bakhe ke wangekho kusimo sokuthi ungabona ke ngoba wayenama dreadlocks futhi ke efaka isigqoko.
Ngizongamboni kanjani ngoba phela ubuso buyavela.
How
Ngoba phela
how would that have not been possible because the face could see or appear.
Let's move on to the identification parade now. From the observation that you saw, it is your evidence that when you attended the identification parade at GP, if I'm not wrong, you could not identify anyone.
Uma ngenza iphutha ke kule yase GP ID parade awuzange ukhombe umuntu kule.
Yebo kuyiqiniso
That's
lokho.
true, yes.
And also in the identification parade that you attended in Pietermaritzburg, it is your evidence that you did not identify anyone.
Nase Pietermaritzburg futhi awuzange ukhombe umuntu.
Ngakho umuntu with similar features but
Yeah.
ngisho ukuthi kagcine yeah.
You have
I
testified
pointed out
that,
someone with similar features.
yeah, you have testified that you've corrected that and you
Okay.
told them you did not mean that. That's why I'm
Yeah.
wrapping it up to
All
say
right.
it means you did not point out anyone. You did
Usho
not
ukuthi awuzange
identify
ukhombe
anyone.
umuntu.
Yebo.
Yes.
The reason why you could not identify anyone, it is because when the incident took place, you had taken alcohol. That is why you couldn't see properly.
Imbangela ke noma isizathu sokuthi ke ungazange ukhombe umuntu ingoba nkathi ke isigameko lesi senzeka ke waphuze utshwala.
Yebo uqinisela ngiphuzela amakana awu2 eHunters Gold kodwa ngangibona kahle kabi.
Yes, you are right. I drank 2 cans of Hunter's Gold, but I could see clearly.
And you want this court to believe that the intruder you saw was carrying firearm when you cannot even tell what part of the firearm you saw, which makes you to say it was a firearm.
Ufuna futhi lenkantolo ikholweke noma yamukeleke lokho kushoyo ukuthi wabona umuntu ophethe isibhamu kodwa ukwazi nokuthi uchazeke ukuthi wabona kuphi ukuthi isibhamu noma yini le owayibona ke.
Yebo.
Yes.
Lastly, you testified regarding the... Okay, sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase before we go there? I forgot to ask you one question. When you were at Ngashe's homestead, what caused you to run back or to jump back into the house where there was danger?
Angithi ubukwanqatshe yini ke manje ekubangela ukuthi ubuyele la kunengozi khona kulomuzi onengozi khona.
If it is true that you had left someone with a firearm, you have left an intruder with a firearm inside the house who was attacking the people.
Uma kuwukuthi ngempela washiya lapha kunomuntu owayephethe isibhamu futhi ehlasela abantu.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi busingibuzele lo mbuzo kodwa ngizophinde ngiphendule futhi.
I think you've answered me that question, but I will answer you again.
Thank you.
Into yangenza ukuthi ngibuyele ngaphakathi endlini it's because ngangisengizwile ama screams kwaphuma uMakakheli ngase sibuza uMakakheli ukuthi uphi lo muntu wesibhamu wasathi akekho uphumula abaleka. That was when ngangena ngaphakathi endlini. Angizange ngize ngivele nje ngigijime ngiyongena ngaphakathi endlini.
I had heard the screams. I saw Kelly's mother. I inquired from Kelly's mother. She indeed confirmed that the person had gone out. And I then went back. I would not have just like that gone back to the house.
Okay. At what stage would that person have gone out of the house? You testified that you ran out of the house and then jumped into Ngashe's. Ngashe is next to the Khumalo homestead.
Yes.
And when you did that, you did not see any person moving out of Khumalo's homestead. Am I correct?
Manje ke lo muntu lo wakwenza nini ke ukuthi aphumeke ngoba angithi wena ungene kwaNqatshe futhi ke kwaNqatshe umakhelwane ke isondelene lemizi futhi nawe ke akunamuntu owambona ephuma so isiphi lesikhathi wahamba ngaso noma waphuma ngaso.
Angazi nami sisiphi isikhathi aphuma ngaso but egcineni shujena abaphuma mina ngibuyela ngaphakathi wayengasekho yena endlini.
I don't know at which time, but which means that eventually the person left because when I went back to the house, he wasn't there.
Okay. But at the time when you jumped into Ngashe's homestead, did you lose sight of the Khumalo's homestead?
Ngalesikhathi ujampela kwaNqatshe ingaba sikhona yini isikhathi la khona ke ubungaboni noma ungawuboni umuzi lo wakwaKhumalo noma ungaboni la kwaKhumalo nkathi ungena kwaNqatshe.
Phela ngesikhathi ngingena kaNqatshe nami ngangena ngithukile ngisaba kona lokho kwakusekwenzekile nje bakangena abantu ngaphakathi endlini. So hayi ukuthi ngangihleli ngibuka ekitchen.
Okay. When I went into the Nqatshes, I went in there shocked, scared by that had just happened. Not that when I went into the Nqatshes, I kept on concentrating or looking into the kitchen. No.
Oh, okay. But in a nutshell, at the time when you ran into Ngashe's homestead, up to the time when you ran back into Khumalo's homestead, you did not see any person moving out of Ngashe's homestead with a firearm. Sorry, my lord, not Ngashe's, Khumalo's homestead with a firearm.
Kodwa ke khona konke lokho kusukela ngale nkathi ungena kwaNgqashi uze kube lesikhathi futhi ubuyela khona ke kwaKhumalo awubonanga umuntu ephuma endlini owayephethe isibhamu.
Yebo ngicathi kuphendulile lokho uthi angibonanga isigebengu siphuma esasiphethe isibhamu.
Yes, I think I answered that. I did not see the criminal that had the firearm
And
going
we are
out.
also confused as to at what stage did this person who carried the firearm moved out of the house, because you did not see him.
Nalapho kudidekile ukuthi lo muntu waphuma nini ngoba uzange umbone.
Cha ngididekile.
I'm not confused.
Yeah, because you
Angikho
did not
confused.
see him.
Ngoba
Did you
uzange
see him?
umbone.
You can say I did not see him, but I would be confused. Angikho confused.
I'm not confused. You can say that I didn't see the person, but not that I'm confused.
Ah, okay. Right, it's fine. Let's move on. And it's only according to your evidence, it's that you were told by Khumalo, and it is Khumalo who went out of the house first.
Futhi ke uthi wena uMakhumalo wakutshela ukuthi lo muntu akasekho nokuthi ke uMakhumalo waphuma kuqala endlini.
Ngizothi Khumalo engambona mina ephuma endlini hayi ukuthi waphuma kuqala.
I would say Makhumalo is the person I saw coming out of the house, not that she was the first one to come out.
When you entered inside the house and you found the deceased, is there any person who was with the deceased when you saw him?
Uma usubuyela endlini uthola umufike la umthola khona ke ingabe wayekhona yini umuntu owayelapha yakuyena umufi?
Hayi noma ngisakhumbula kahle kodwa angiboni ngathi wayekhona ngoba mina ngaqhamukela kuyena nje ngisakhumbula kahle kodwa ngiboni ngathi wayekhona.
Although I can't remember that well, but I don't think that there was anyone, because when I appeared there I found him.
And if there was anyone, you would have seen him or her.
Uma kuwukuthi wayekhona umuntu wawuzombona.
Yebo.
Yes.
At that time, did you see Zandi?
Wambona uZandi ngaleso sikhathi?
Hayi cha.
No.
Did you see Kelly Khumalo?
Kelly?
Cha.
No.
Did you see Khumalo?
uMakhumalo?
Khumalo wayekhona phela ngangena vele nje ekhona naye la. Ngingena vele ukhona Khumalo.
Makhumalo was there. As I entered, Makhumalo was there.
And you don't know where Kelly Khumalo was at that time?
Ukuthi uKelly wayekuphi? I was.
No angikhumbula ukhela.
No, I don't remember Kelly.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Thanks. Any re-examinations?
That's a good piece, my lord.
I'm sorry, my lord. I just left one. Just one, my lord. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. When I was asking you about the language that was spoken by the intruder, you remember that portion? You said Zandi was here, you had her, meaning me, I had her Zulu, so it means we were watching her testimony.
Kunento ikhulumileke ukuthi uZandi ebela umzwile uZandi uma ekhuluma uzwile isiZulu sakhe okusho ukuthi ubufakazi bakho bubhekile ngathi nikeza ngofakazi obubhekile
Njengoba ngangishilo angililandeli icala ngisaphinde ngiyasho.
Yeah, it's a misunderstanding. I listen intently. This witness was explaining that if you are Zulu speaking and you come from Enkandla,
Yes.
Engutu,
Yes.
you can go on and on. Your Zulu will be different in tonality from that which is spoken in Johannesburg. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, I did say
Yes.
that, but I understand what she is saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
Referring to Zandile speaking inside the house. Is that what?
Yes, that's true. That's
Yeah,
what I want
please.
to
Let's listen.
clarify ukuthi uZandi njengoba yela uZandi phela angimqali ngiyamazi so ngiyasazi isizulu sakhe
I
so
know
I refer
Zandi.
ukuthi la enkantolo because that would make sense kunina ngoba senimzwile isizulu sakhe njengoba nisizwa nesami so uZandi sengihlalile na ngiye ngahlala naye prior before so ngiyasazi isizulu sakhe ukuthi sikanjani
I know Zandi.
but iqala angililandeli ngisasho namanje I
I'm
don't
still
follow the
saying
case
I don't follow the case, but I was making it easy. I was making reference to you. That is now in the plural. That I spent time with Zandi, so I know how she speaks. This is Zulu.
Thank you, my
So
lord.
that is
I've
what
got
I
no
meant.
further questions.
Yes, any re-examination?
As a court, please, my lord. In cross-examination by Advocate Mshololo for accused number 5, you mentioned that after identifying the deceased at the Eastern Pathology Services, you proceeded to Malbatten, where Kelly Khumalo was with the brother of the deceased. Is that correct?
Ushilo ke uma ubuzwa ke uyena ke uadvocate Mshololo ukuthi nathi mase niqedile ke eJemiston nahamba ke kanye na umfowabo kaSenzo naye eMalbatten.
yebo
Yes,
Qiniso lokho.
that's true.
And you say Ms. Kelly Khumalo then handed the deceased identity document to the brother of the deceased.
Ushilo ke nokuthi wase endlulisela ke umazisi wakhe ke umufi kuyena ubhuti wakhe.
yebo kuyiqiniso
That's
lokho.
correct.
Do you remember the date on the Tuesday?
Wasikhumbula leyo Tuesday ukuthi date 18.
yebo
Yes.
ngikhumbula
Yes.
umhla 28
28.
October 2014
28 October 2014.
And do you perhaps remember more or less what time that was when she
correct.
handed the identity document?
engakusho ukuthi mhlawumbe kwakuyisemini
I'd say that it was during the day,
noma ngasakhumbuli kahle kodwa kwakuyisemini
although I can't remember well, but during the day.
In cross-examination by Mr. Ramusipele for accused number 1 and 2, he put it to that Ms. Zandile Khumalo testified that you stop over at the venue of the party en route to Dorothy Nyembe.
Kukhona ke akushilo kuwena ke ubaba laMsipile ukuthi ke khona la enama khona ke noma ufakazi bukaZandi ukuthi khona ke indawo onayadlula so nayo ndlula la iphathi eyayizoba khona endleleni eya eDorothy Nyembe.
yebo ngiyakhumbula lokho
Yes, I
kodwa
do.
akukona iqiniso
Yes.
Yes, I remember that, but it's not the truth.
Yes, you replied that you never reached the venue of the party.
Ushilo ukuthi zange niyofika lapho.
cha azange sizosifika
No, we didn't.
Can you clarify as to what time were you supposed to attend the party?
Asike sichaze nje ukuthi iphathi lena kwakufanele ukuthi nani yesikhathi sini kuyona.
iphathi kakufanele noma ngasakhumbuli kahle but iphathi kakufanele kube isemini ngoba yayizoqala ngoku-go-karter and then from lapho kakuzomuva sekuyiwa endlini kaRoy Mahamudza la kakune-braai khona na zonke into yayizokwenzeka-ke khona kodwa uku-go-karter engikwaziyo kwakuyisemini
The party was supposed to have taken place during the day because that's when the go-karting would have happened. Then from there, we then proceeded to Roy Mahamudza's party where the braai and everything was going to be held later on.
Yes, but the party that you're referring to that would have taken place during the day is different from the party that was supposed to take place at Roy Mahamudza's place.
Le party le okhuluma ngayo uthi yayizokwenzeka emini kwakuyiphathi yahlukile kunale eyayizokwenzeka endlini kaRoy Mahamudza.
mhlawumbe ngiyibeke ngendlela ezo-understandeka ukuthi kakuyiphathi eyodwa kodwa kuwukuthi yayine-sequence ukuthi kuzo-go-karter from uku-go-karter wake beqedile mhlawumbe mese kuyalandelwana ukuthi nami phela kangiyazi i-plan yayithini but ngokufunda kwami kushuthi kakuzoqeda uku-go-karter mese kuyalandelwana-ke sekuyiwa endlini kaRoy Mahamudza or abantu bazoqala beyoshintsha mese kuyiwa endlini kaRoy Mahamudza angazi kahle but ngikwazi ukuthi kakuzoqala ngoku-go-karter from uku-go-karter kakuzomuvelwa endlini yaRoy Mahamudza.
It was going to start with the go-karting, and then from there, it's just that I don't know what the plan was. Maybe from there, then a convoy to Roy Mahamudza, or people would maybe first have gone to change their clothing, then go to Roy Mahamudza's house.
Now, en route to Dorothy Nyembe Stadium, did you stop over at Roy Mahamud's place?
Manje ke endleleni eya khona ke eDorothy Nyembe ingaba nandlula yini kwa Roy Mahamud?
Cha,
No,
adlulanga.
we didn't.
Thank you. And do you perhaps know if the deceased was making any inquiries as to how far the arrangements for the party was?
Ingabe uyazi yini ukuthi uma ufike wayemane ebuza noma ke ezama ukwazi ke ukuthi ama plans noma ama preparations e party ahamba kanjani?
Hayi cha.
No.
Cha.
Thank you.
No.
Mr. Ramos Sipil, on behalf of accused number 1 and 2, asks you to describe how the first intruder was clad. You mentioned that he had the jacket or jersey. Do you remember what the color of thereof was?
Buziwe ke ngejacket lana noma ijezi ngabe usakhumbula yini umbala wayo ukuthi wawunjani?
Noma ngasakhumbuli kahle, but it was ngasho mhlambe darkish color, but angisakhumbuli kahle.
Although I can't remember that well, I would say that maybe a darkish color, although I can't remember well.
Dark it could be black, brown, gray, navy, black.
The colors that the witness is now mentioning, black, brown, navy, around there.
And when Mr. Ramos Sipil questioned you regarding Exhibit U2, the statement that you made on the 14th of December 2017, you indicated that it was taken down at the beach. Is that correct?
Uma ubuzwa ke uyena ke Mr. Ramusipili ke mayelana nestatement yake esenziwa nge-14th ka December 2017 ushilo ke ukuthi senzeka noma sathathelwa ke ebeach.
Yes, khona statement engathathele beach and I think isona.
Yes,
Khona
there is a
statement abangithatha.
there is-
ngase beach.
There is a statement that was taken from me at the beach. I think that's the statement.
And can you just describe the circumstances? Was it in open air, in a restaurant, or where was your statement taken down?
Lapho ebeach ke kwenzeka kuphi lokho kwenzeka nje ngaphandle ngise restaurant kwenzeka kuphi?
No, kakuyindawo evulekile.
It's an open
Beach
area.
kunale ndawo yokuhlala, yabo itafula inestulo ngala, itulo ngala.
It's an open area. You see at the beach there are tables and it's got chairs on the chair on this side, the chair on that side.
Like a bench, I'm not going to say a chair, bench, sort of. But it was not inside the restaurant.
Kwakungekho ngaphakathi ke restaurant.
And can you maybe describe the circumstances? Was it calm? Was it noisy?
Kwakuyindawo nje, kwakunomsindo noma kwakuyindawo nje kwakuthula la.
Beach angiboni ngathula.
I don't see a beach as being
Kodwa,
calm,
Yes. But what were the
but I
circumstances?
can't remember well.
Yeah, but sasingaphandle nje. Yebo sasingaphandle kunolwandle nje, not far from la sasikhona.
We were outside and there was a beach not far from where we were.
And you say there was a misunderstanding between you and the statement taker regarding, amongst others, which suspect was wearing a hat and which one was wearing a hoodie.
Ushilo ke ukuthi kwakhona ke ungazwani noma la kwakuno misunderstanding nakhona ke phakathi kwakho nalo owayethatha istatement mayelana nokuthi ke ubani owayefake ihoodie ubani owayefake isigqoko.
Yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
Yes, that's so.
And you say the version that you gave in court is what happened.
Uthi wena lokho okukhuluma enkantolo yiloko kwenzeka.
Yebo ngisho njalo.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You mentioned that you don't remember if the statement Exhibit U2 was read back to you. Do you perhaps remember if you were given the opportunity to read the statement yourself?
Ushilo ukuthi awusakhumbuli noma istatement lesi ke wasifundelwa yini? Ingabe uyakhumbula yini ukuthi wena wasinikezwa ke ukuthi uyifundele? Lokho ukuthi wasifundela uthi awukhumbuli, kodwa ukuthi usinike wena uyifundele uyakhumbula lokho.
cha hayi ngikhumbula njengoba ngisho ukuthi zikhona statement engayifundanga zikhona engikhumbula ukuthi mhlawumbe esingangizifundile so angisakhumbuli nalapho ukuthi le kulesi ke banginikeza noma banginikeza ngayo ngikhumbula.
No, I don't remember. As I said previously, that there were statements that were read back to me and there were statements that were not. So with regards to this one, I can't remember.
In the introductory part of Exhibit U2, the investigating officer says that the purpose of the statement was to clarify certain issues raised by the investigating officer.
Ekuqaleni laphayana ke ngaphambi kokuthi iqale ukuthi ibhale statement uyasho ke laphayana umseshi ke noma umphenyi wecala ukuthi ke ukuzama ke ukuthi ke kuchazwe ke noma kulungiswe ke izinto ezithize yena ke umphenyi wecala ebezingacacile kuyena.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, what was the process of making the statement? Did he ask you questions and you were responding to the questions, or were you narrating?
Ngabe kwakwenzeka kanjani ke wayekubuza imibuzo ubuso uyaphendula ke wena noma wavele wathi nje khuluma?
Kuzoba nzima nalapho ukuthi ngikhumbule kahle kodwa engikhumbulayo ukuthi naye ngathi wayengibuza naye imibuzo.
It's going to be difficult to remember there as well, but I think he was also asking me questions.
Mr. Ramusipile also put the version of Kaya to you as to what happened when you left the premises of the Ngashas.
Okunye futhi ke ubaba Ramusipile ke akubuze ngakho ke noma ukuchazela ke ukuthi ukhaya uthini ke yena ukuthi kwenzekani uma wena usuka uphuma kwaNgatshe ubuyela ngale.
When you jump over the concrete wall from the Ngashas into the Khumalos, did you see where Ngashe Senior was?
Ngathi ke wena usujompa ke usuka kwaNgatshe ujompela khona ke kwaKhumalo engabe wabona yini ukuthi ubaba hayi indodana ubaba uNgashe wayekuphi?
Ngathi ngamshiya egcekeni la kwakhe.
I think I left him on his premises.
And Kaya?
Ukhaya
Ukhaya ngimkhumbula ngoba endlini ngesikhathi ngilokhu nje ngisiza uSenzo wayekhona na eceleni kwami wayesekhona eceleni kwami so
I remember Kaya in this
ngiyakhumbula ngaqhama kuqala kodwa mina
I remember Kaya that
ngithiwa ngilandela
when I picked up Senzo that Kaya was next to me assisting me but I jumped before him. I was the first one to jump and then he followed.
But did you see him jumping over?
Ngisakhumbula kahle.
No, I can't remember where.
Ngaqhumana impela.
Sorry, change the part of the
ngithi ngathi ngaqhuma naye.
Ingathi waqhuma naye.
Yes.
I think maybe I jumped with him.
Yes. But yeah, but if you say you think, what is the position?
Oh, sure, Mama, oh, sure.
The witness had already said, I can't.
Yes. Yes, but as a court, please, my lord, we're just asking the witness to clarify. Are you able to say whether Kaya Ngashe jumped over the concrete wall just after you, or what is the position?
I think indeed I jumped with him.
And perhaps just lastly, when you were carrying the deceased from where he was lying in the house, did you carry him straight to the vehicle or did you take rest in between?
Ingabe uma niqobula umufike nihamba niya naye emotweni ingaba namqobula ke nase niya ngqo emotweni noma nanimane niphumula?
Yo ngisakhumbula ke lokho kodwa engikwazi ukuthi uSenzo wayisinda.
I want to remember
ukuthi asimqubula esinda besimqubule sihambe naye angazi noma kusase resta kodwa ngibona sasolesi resta kanjani ngabe siyamphuthumiswa esibhedlela.
I can't remember that because yes Senzo was heavy, we just picked him up but I don't see us that we were taking rest. How were we going to do that because we were rushing him to hospitals?
But if sa resta mhlawumbe ngabe isikhathi angazi mhlawumbe second phinde simqubule angisakhumbuli kahle
But if it
nami
is indeed that we rested, maybe a second, but I can't remember.
Thank you, Mala. That is all.
Yeah, sorry. Just for elucidation of what was put to you. You heard that Advocate Khumalo put it to you that one of you persons who were inside the house, excluding what you say was the first and the second suspect, shot and killed Senzo. You heard that?
Uyakhumbula ke okushiwo kuwe kushiwo uyena ke uadvocate Khumalo ukuthi ke ukhiphe ke laba bawu2 ke laba ekuthiwa bangena ke ukuthi omunye wenuka ababephakathi endlini ke uyena wadubula uSenzo ukhumbula esho kwena.
yebo ngakhumbula
Yes, I remember that.
When, so the questions I want clarification on. Did you ever meet Longwe, for instance? Let's start with who was in the house. It was Khumalo at the time of the incident. Khumalo, Longwe, Khumalo, Kelly, Zandile, yourself.
Ibona ke abantu babesendlini labo ujaji ababalayo ngithi.
and Senzo
And Senzo, of course, yes. The previous day, it means the 25th. Were you with Senzo?
yes
Yebo nganganye noSenzo nge25.
Right. Were you also with Zandi?
yes
noZandi futhi.
Where were you?
at we ngasho ukuthi we at Malberton but we met Orlando Soweto.
I would say
Then we
that
drove to Malberton.
I would say
Yes.
we were in Malberton, but we met at Soweto in Orlando, then drove to Malberton.
And Khumalo, on the very day, did you meet with him?
On the 25th?
Huh?
No,
Azange hlangana noTumelo
And then
nge25.
Longwe, on the 25th, did you meet with him?
no,
Azange hlangana noLongwe nge25.
Khumalo, on the 25th, did you meet with
no,
her?
Azange hlangana noMakhumalo nge25.
And Kelly?
yes,
Nganganye noKelly nge25.
So the only aspect was that you, Zandile, Kelly,
and Senzo.
and Senzo were together at
Yes,
some stage on the 25th.
yes, that's true.
Nge25 mina uZandi uKelly kanye noSenzo ke sasindawonye. Noma kunesikhathi la esasindawonye.
So you never conspired?
We never
Conspired?
with Kelly.
All of you? That's what it was put to you.
No,
Asikaze spoke
No.
to.
Okay. The other aspect is, did you attend Senzo's funeral?
yes, I did.
Ngaya emngcwabeni kaSenzo.
Did you play any part in the arrangement of those funeral rituals?
Yes, I can say the memorial service. The memorial service here and the one in Durban on Friday.
Remember that service le eyilana le ayisedebeni
The
ngolesihlanu.
one here in Joburg was held on Thursday.
Okay.
Eyala yayingolesine.
You attended both memorial services?
I attended one, the one here in Joburg. The one in Durban, when we reached in Durban, the memorial service was already over because we were driving down with Senzo's car.
Sathi mase sifika ke eDurban kube biseDurban ngosuku olandelayo ngolesihlanu safika ke isindlule ngoba sasi driver ke uyakhona ngayo imoto kaSenzo.
Do you know if Khumalo attended the funeral of Senzo?
I'm not sure. But I heard he did, but I mean, I don't recall seeing him, but I heard he did attend. I'm not sure.
Ngezwe ukuthi uTumelo wayekhona emngcwabeni kodwa ke mina ke angizange ngimbone.
And Longwe, do you know if he attended the funeral?
I wouldn't know how long ago.
Ngeke ngazi ke ngolongo ukuthi waya emngcwabeni.
And Kelly, did you know if she attended the funeral?
Kelly was banned from attending the funeral.
Wayenqatshelwa nje wavinjwa yena kuKelly ukuthi angayi.
And Zandile, did she attend the funeral?
No, she didn't. I don't think she-
noZandile akazange aye naye futhi.
Okay. Any questions arising?
None from the state side.
Perhaps one question, my lord, and which is this: Zandile Khumalo, when asked by the state prosecutor, when last did she see Longwetwala. She said on the evening of the 25th of October. And yesterday when I asked you, there's the four of you, that is Zandile, Kelly, Senzo, and yourself.
Yes.
And then you were accompanied by a gentleman and a lady, but they later left. They didn't sleep over at Malbatten. I asked you specifically, was that gentleman Longwetwala? Remember that?
Yes.
What was your answer?
I said I don't recall, I don't remember, because that person was too far, and when we walked inside the house, they didn't spend much time. They left with the female. So I don't recall seeing them. Even the other girl, I don't know who she was.
But uma ubunguza ke izolo ngalapha noma lo wesilisa nowesifazane babe semalbathini mshilo ukuthi babe kude base behamba ke nalona futhi ke wesifazane nayeka ngikhumbula nokuthi kwakuubani.
But that male person, if it was Longwe and you saw him the following day on the 26th when he came at the Khumalo household, your memory will be jogged that this is indeed the gentleman that I saw last night, correct?
Uma kwakuwukuthi lo muntu angithi uLongwe wafika ke nge26 lapha amakhumalo manje uma usumbona ke nge26 ke umqondo wakho uzobuya ukuthi lo muntu yilo bengimbonile ngayizolo.
Ngaba kanjalo kube ngangikhulumile naye mhlawumbe manje umuntu mawuzombukela kude ungamnakile futhi ungaba nzima ukuthi ngithi ngakusasa benginaye ngayizolo.
That would have been the case if I had spoken to the person, but if the person was at a distance and I didn't pay attention to that person, then it would have been difficult for me to say that I was with this person the previous day.
Sorry, my lord, I'm just reading from a document that I've just read. My lord, I don't have any further questions.
Nisi? Khumalo?
Thank you, my lord. I just have one question. I'm going to be direct.
The other side is direct.
So on my lord, I'm referring the witness to Exhibit P3, the statement of Zandile Khumalo.
See?
It's about the events of the 25th. It's a statement of Zandile Khumalo that was entered and marked Exhibit P3 at paragraph 22. It's A114.
Yeah, read a portion to him.
Yes. It says the previous night we supposed to perform at Soweto and there was rain. The performance was cancelled. Myself, Precious, Mtozi Sikeli and Senzo went to Kelly's house. I cannot recall where.
Lana ke le statement lesi esikazandile ne ukhuluma ngaloko kwenzeka nge25 A114 uthi kwakufanele ngalezo 25 lezo baperformeke eSoweto kodwa ke ngenxa yokuthi kwakunemvula yaseke leyo event leyo bayikhansela yena uSenzo uKelly uLongwe kanye noPrecious base beya kwa Kelly noma baya did I hear you correct to Malbatten?
I cannot recall where Longwe joined us, but he was at Kelly's house. He did not sleep there, but left myself, Kelly, Mthokozisi, Precious, and Senzo.
Angazi ke ukuthi uLongwe ke wasijoina ngasiphi isikhathi kodwa waye lapho ke kodwa akakazange alale wasehamba washiya mina uMthokozisi uSenzo uKelly kanye noPrecious. Statement esikazandi leso.
Yebo.
Yes. So are you following, sir? Because I'm taking this from what the court has asked you.
Lokho uthi kubuya kuloko obuzwa ujudge.
Maybe to be clear with you, so you did meet Longwe on the 25th of October.
I think I've explained ukuthi lo mawukuthi le muntu wesilisa bangisho ukuthi kakhona umuntu wesilisa newentombazane mawukuthi le wesilisa kakuyena uLongwe then should kakuyena uLongwe but mina angizange ngize ngikhulume naye angizange ngize ngimbone so angizange ayikho engayikhuluma naye ngangimbukela from kude and wahamba lo muntu washesha ukuhamba so angazi fanele ngize ngithi ngimbonile uLongwe ngayizolo ngibe ngisho ukuthi angimbonanga.
I did make mention of the fact that
I saw
a gentleman on that day, but the gentleman was at a distance and I never spoke to the gentleman. If it is then But I'm not disputing that, but I never spoke to the person. And there was also a female as well. I did say that.
But not a long time passed, and you saw this person on the following day, the 26th of October, 2014.
Mr. Khumalo,
Which means?
sorry. Do you have instructions that that person was Longwe on the 25th?
I'm
Who
reading from the document.
That's Zandi's statement.
Yes.
I'm asking a pertinent question about your instructions.
No, I don't have any instructions. I was reading from the document.
No, that's Zandi's statement.
Yes.
Because the witness says he saw that person with a female person. They were at a distance. He never spoke to them, didn't identify them, and can't even dispute whether it was Longwe or who.
Yes.
Because he only physically saw Longwe the following day. Is that not your evidence, sir?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes. Just one question. The court also asked you about if there was any conspiracy theory. You said no. If there was, were you going to agree?
Inkantolo ikubuzileke ukuthi kwaba khona yini iculo laboshwa wasuphendula ke wena wathi cha uma ukuthi lalikhona ke ubuzovuma
Lalingeke nje lize baqale balikhuluma iculo phambi kwami.
They would never even have started conspiring in my presence.
Thank you, my lord. I have no further
That's my
explanation.
answer.
Thank you.
Sorry, before Ms. Mshololo, Your Excellency, can I just ask one question, follow up from Mr.
Okay.
Khumalo? Mr. Twala, on the night of the 25th, if I recall, your evidence is that you passed by Soweto and you also bought alcoholic drinks after the soccer game, correct?
Uma ngikhumbula kahle uthi ngabe kwakusuba nge25 emuva kwegame noma igame isiphelileke nadlule Soweto nathenga utshwala nakhona.
That doesn't arise from the
I know.
questions.
Okay.
Is he
Okay.
having another party?
Okay, let me leave it there. But on the night, on the 25th, in the house, the two persons, Precious and the gentleman, did they enter the Malbatten residence of Kelly Khumalo and Senzo Meyiwa?
Labantu abawu2 labo okhuluma ngabo babe khona abawesilisa kanye nowesifazane ke ingabe bangena phakathi nabendlini lapha eMalbatten kwaKelly nakwaSenzo.
From la ngangihleli khona mina ukuthi eMalbatten nayo picture yakhona babe lapha ngasemnyango eduze kwefridge. That's the only interaction engasho ukuthi ngababona kuyona. Hayi ukuthi beza abahlala la edining or sitting room la ngangihleli khona babe lapha nje ngase kitchen ngibabukela kude. Yebo bangena ngoba ubabona kwami ngababonela lapha.
Yes, they came in. From where I was seated, they were at a distance. I never interacted with them. They were at the fridge. It's just that we don't have a picture of the house in Malbatten, but they were at a distance. Yes, they came in because they were in the kitchen area, but I saw them at a distance.
They were in the kitchen area. Where were you seated?
Uhlezi kuphi wena?
Njengoba ngishilo sitting room.
The sitting room.
And in relation to the sitting room, where's the kitchen? Is there a barrier wall that you can't see somebody that's at the kitchen?
La uhlezi khona nekhishi ke ingaba kunobonda ke oluhlukanisayo olwenza ukuthi ungaboni.
Alokhu bonda kodwa ukhulu.
There's no
Nje kakhulu futhi ikhishi lile kude.
There's no barrier wall.
Couch le kude.
It's a huge
Ayikho
space.
kodwa iberi ayikho ibonda ukuthi uyongena ekitchen emnyango cha. Uyakwazi ukubona nje kanje.
But it's just huge. The kitchen is there, the couches are there.
And what was illumination like at the kitchen and where the couches were?
The kitchen nala ama-couch ayekhona ukhanya ke noma indlela ebonakala ngayo kwakukanjani.
Hayi kakhanya ngibona sasingahlala endaweni emnyama.
There was illumination. I don't see that we would have sat in a dark place. There was light.
Okay, now this point, how easily do you retain memories of people that you've...
No. That's not arising from the questions I
Let
asked.
me leave it.
Yeah, you know the procedure. Ne? Yeah, please. Mr. Mshololo?
Thank you, my lord. I've got two from the question.
Are they arising from the questions I asked?
Yes, my lord.
Fine. Okay.
Was Khumalo also banned from attending the deceased funeral?
Khumalo naye ke wanqatshela ukuthi aze emngcwabeni.
Umuntu anqatshela ukuthi aze emngcwabeni kakuKelly Khumalo.
The person that was banned from the funeral was Kelly Khumalo.
But do you know if Khumalo attended?
Uyazi ukuthi why uMakhumalo?
Ngeke ngize ngaza.
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
Mandisa, the deceased fiancée, do you know if she was allowed to attend the funeral?
Mandisa?
Manje sena ihleli emakhandleleni.
She was there, seated there where the candles were.
Okay, thank you, my lord. I have no further
She was
questions.
seated on the mattress.
Mattress emakhandleleni.
Yeah.
Well, sithi uhlele emakhandleleni thina in Zulu.
That's how we say it in Zulu.
Thanks. Yes, Mr. Baloyi?
As a colleague, please, my lord, we reached an agreement with my colleagues that we should rather start with a new witness on Monday.
On Monday.
Yes. Maybe then adjourn until Monday.
Okay. Okay, then. It's Monday then. What is agenda?